Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great week and you're looking forward to a long and restful holiday weekend. I know I am. I'll get to go to several graduation parties. My nephews are graduating. It's always an exciting time. Last year it was my daughter. It was an exciting time with her. My son just finished middle school. He's starting high school next year. So it's all just exciting times for me. I'm gonna do a recap of some of my trades today. Some things I want to share with you. But first, you can see what I'm going to talk about first. Looking at this picture, um, it's funny. I've got a lot of criticism about me stopping my morning show and not putting out a whole lot of free content. And they think, it's like because you're doing a paid service, you're not going to do all this free stuff anymore. Well, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And I kind of shared with everybody before the reason why I had to do what I'm doing. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry for you. Because, number one, trading has to be at the forefront. And if I have to cut stuff out in order to focus on my trading, then that's what I'm going to do. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be here. And, so that's where my focus is right now. So just to address some of the things that have come up in the last week or so, the question I get was, well, why do I have a paid service? Well, the easy and the main reason is that I was asked to provide it. For the whole year, a whole year or more that I was at Warrior Trading, the question I got asked all the time, why don't you have your own service? Why don't you have your own room? If you do it, I'll come support you. That's what I heard over and over and over again. So when I found myself in the position that I could offer it, I did it. I put it out there. I didn't expect to get the following that I got initially. I felt maybe it would take a year before it happened, but it happened all in a couple of months. And it was overwhelming, but I loved it because I love working with as many people that want to work with me. And I feel that I may be a better teacher than a better trader. I steal that from Tim Sykes. I may be a better teacher than I am a trader. I've been teaching, 3 or 4 times as long as I've been trading. So, that may be a given. But it's something that I like to do. I like working with people. I like helping people. But it gets to a point where, I value me. I value my time. You may not put a value on my time, but I do. I feel that I'm worth more. And if I don't put value to myself, why would anybody else put value to me? So, I value myself. I value my time. I value what I bring to the table. And I was asked, to provide all of this. So why do I have to charge? Omnovia is not free. And believe me, it is not cheap. But it's the best platform out there. And if I do something, I'm going to either do it right or I'm not going to do it at all. I'm going to either give 120% or I'm going to stay on the fence. So, yeah, the platform charges are expensive. My little honeymoon with them will be over with here at the end of this month. So, yeah, I tried to get as many people in as I could under the prices that I did have, because that I felt they were low compared to the industry and what you get for it. But they're gonna have to go up because my fees are gonna go up. What I have to pay is gonna go up. But I tried to get everybody in that I could, give them the best deal that I could, but I'm not gonna give them any less. You may pay me so much, $399 a month, but you're still gonna get that and more than from somebody that you paid $600 a month or $700 a month. I'm not gonna give you any less. Again, because I value myself and I value what I can bring to the table. So everything I do is not going to have a charge to it. I'm still going to continue to do the content, still going to do my blog. I'm still going to do videos when I can, just like I'm doing now. It's it's right now I'm getting me straight. Right now I'm getting myself on the track that I need to be on. Because if I'm not right, then I can't help anybody. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what I did in the past. Yeah, that's part of what I bring to the table, but it doesn't hold any water at this point. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm only as good as my last trade. And I'm only as good as what you see me do. Too many people are, posting trades or calling out trades, putting up a P&L, but you don't know what they're doing. You don't get to see their platform. You don't get to see their entries and exits. But I make it a point to provide that. Unless I'm at lunch and I'm having to trade on my tablet, I'm going to be right there, in chat, working it out. And I'm going to continue to do the videos. I'm going to continue to do everything that I've been doing. I may not be able to do it at the rate that I was doing it before, but it's still going to come out. And as for the morning show, I had to suspend that because it was creating too much tension for me in the morning. Because the way my schedule is, I have a schedule. I get up at 5, I go to the gym. I have to run back here, get my son up, make sure he gets ready so he can go to school. And then I could get back, and I have to rush back so that I have enough time to get set up for the morning show. And everything was just rush. And one of the things I teach in my trading psychology course is that you can't rush yourself into the market. That's why my watch list is done by 9 o'clock, so that I can settle, relax, and get ready for the open. And rushing and my whole morning being a rush, I was having trouble winding down before the open. And I was trading the open agitated sometimes, and it just wasn't working out. So until the summer came and my mornings got freed up, I was going to have to suspend the morning show. But it will be back in a couple weeks. I'm going to, reintroduce it. But it's not going for good. Our sneak peek Wednesdays, that will start back. So that's not gone. I just suspended that until the summer so that I could get, everything in place. I was trying to get my swing trading course finished up. I was trying to get a lot of things done. And you may not think it, but if you do it, unless you walk a mile in my shoes, you don't understand how much work goes into these things. And it will be back Wednesday, June the 7th. That's when our sneak peek Wednesday is going to come. So be prepared for that. I will be announcing it starting next week that we will be back Wednesday, June the 7th. And this will last until I go to lunch. So you come in the morning about 8:30 and hang out with us until lunchtime. You know, I do take a lunch. I'm a big advocate in making sure you walk away from your platform and take a break. You want to do it periodically throughout the day, and you want to take your lunch break. You know, whether it be at 12 or whether it be at 11, whether it be at 1, you know, you want to take a break and you want to get away so you can come back focused. But, you know, this will be back Wednesday, June the 7th. So now hopefully I answered all of the questions. I think I did. You know, I wrote down everything what was asked of me. But that's it. You know, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Alright, so let's look at some trades from today. The first trade, I really missed the boat on this. I mean, there's no other way I can put it. I completely missed the boat on this. Now, the reason why I'm using the Thinkorswim charts today is because I wanted to show you this script that I got. It's 5-minute opening range. Now you can write this script 5 minute, 10 minute, 15, 30 minute, however you want to. This is set up for the 5 minute. And what it does is once it prints, once the 5 minute prints, it starts, you know, printing the range, and it shadows the range in so that throughout the morning I could see whether the stock is breaking in or out of the range. So for me, I'm more of a confirmation type trader. So I like to wait until I get a confirmed move out of the opening range. And so BBY was on our watch this morning. And, you know, I saw it put in this big candle here. And I'm like, well, a lot of times when you see a candle like this, it opens, it runs up, and then it sells off real quick. We usually get some inside candle trading before we make a move, or we're going to get a strong washout to the downside. So this candle closed, this candle opened, and it started selling. Now with me, I didn't jump in this short because I like to wait for the candle to close below this level, or I'll jump in the last minute of the candle. If the candle was trading down here and we had like 30 seconds left on the candle, then yeah, I'll jump in and take a chance, because I can pretty much guarantee that the candle is going to close below this level. So, you know, this just washed out a little bit and then got bought right back up and then came back, and we closed green. This is an indecision candle. So I wasn't really sure where it was going to go, but at that point I didn't care because we're in this 5-minute opening range and I'm not trading it in here. Now there's some people that got in the trade here. Once we held a VWAP, they got in here, and that's fine. You can get in here risking on the VWAP and the 9 and it still be a good trade. But for me and my strategy, I wait for a candle to close outside of this opening range, and then I could take a position. Well, this is in no man's land. We're blue sky breakout here. There's no historical support or resistance. So what I did was I had to use whole and half dollar marks. But in this case, I just used a $0.50, and then I used a quarter. I went to 75, and I took it off here. Look at what this thing did. This was incredible. It ran up all day. It held a 9. It just rode the 9 on up. But this is one of the issues that we deal with when we're trading with smaller size. When we're trading with smaller size, we usually can't get the huge moves, because if we're looking at potential profit targets, we can't really hold through this because we're trying to lock in profits to grow our account. And with me going back trading smaller size, it really handcuffed me to a point where I didn't have any more that I could cover. And I left out one cover here. It was on, let's see, this candle. I think this candle here is when I ended up having to take some more off. I just didn't manage this well. I was just too concerned that we were breaking out. We were in no man's land. We weren't oversold. I mean overbought. We were a good ways from being overbought. So there was no reason for me to kind of get scared out of this trade. But I did. We did make some money. That's fine. But I really left a lot on the table. And this is something that I have to work on. Because it's not about just doing this and then going to look for another stock. That's not the way I trade. I like to take advantage of an extended move every chance I get. And I just didn't do it here because I went looking for other trades. It's, just as simple as that. But all in all, I like the entry that I took. This was a textbook opening range breakout entry for me. I like the fact that I stuck to my plan, albeit a little bit flawed. I stuck to it. And we never did get a good pullback here, because I was looking for the pullback. That's why I got out, because I thought we were going to pull back and I was going to get in on the pullback. We didn't, and it just kept kind of ramping up a little bit. So I just gave up on it and started looking at other stocks. But that was BBY. Now, SIG was awesome. This was a delayed 5-minute opening range breakdown. And it happened right where I like to cut this off. About 11 o'clock or so is the latest I like to trade opening range breakouts. After that, it turns into a different type trade. But you see, we had this big ramp up in pre-market, then we had a little sell-off, and we got the opening range set. This is a little bit off. This is the first time I've seen it do that. This is actually the opening range high here, the 5-minute. The low is right, but the high is a little bit wrong on this one. It should be right here. But you can see this stock traded once it opened and we got down. I didn't take it short because I waited. I was waiting for this candle to close. And here, this candle printed, and it closed up under the opening range low. But one guess as to why I didn't take this short. We were sitting right here on the VWAP. We were sitting right here on the VWAP, and the 20 was not far behind. So I waited. And this, bounced. It traded within this 5-minute opening range all the way up till about 10:45. And we started selling. Well, I waited to get in this trade. You can see it was 8 cents. I mean, not 8 cents. 8 seconds before this candle closed. I waited 8 seconds before this candle closed in order to get in, because I knew that we weren't going to go back up. We had gotten to the point where this candle, I know, was going to close below this level, and I wanted to be in it. If it went back up and closed back above it, I could get out. Or we had the VWAP, we had the 20, we had the 9, all of this resistance up here. So I doubted this would even get back over there. So everything was right for me to get in this about 8 seconds too early. So I got in. We had this little indecision candle here, but never did break back over. Never did give me any reason to get out. So here we got the sell-off. I got my first target, which was, where is it? $52.63, but it got 64. So I got it here, $52.64. It was supposed to be 50, but I just didn't hold it. I kind of got antsy and took it off instead of waiting for 50. Then my next cover, 52.18. And then my next cover, 51.26, when we started to bounce. And this was textbook. This was a delayed opening range breakdown. I waited. I was patient. And this script right here, this helped me. This helped me see and be patient and know that I don't want to trade it in here. In this range, I don't want it. I want it here. Now, if this would have happened 30 minutes later, this would have been a VWAP trade. But I would have had to let it pull through, bounce back, and retest before I took it. This is why I don't trade the VWAP trade in the morning. Because of the volatility, we often don't get a bounce. We just get a quick wash, and the trade goes on from there. So that was textbook. Okay, so I waited for rejection here. This candle rejected. We're trending down. I get in. And I felt this was a good entry. This candle was pretty much solid red at this time. Well, it worked a little bit, then it got bought back up. No big deal. We're still well below the 9. Then this candle opens up, and it takes out my max loss stop. I mean, just that quick. It took out my max loss stop. And you see, that's all it did. It ran up 2 cents above my stop, and then came back, and then kind of made the move. So I re-engaged here. Got my first target on this candle. And then bam. This candle opened up here. Pushed up. I had to get out at break even. I had no choice. Once you take profit, I set my stop at break even to protect the profit I have. And, that's what happened here. And then we got to move down. But you got to be okay with what you did. Here's me trading 200 shares. I'm trading 200 share lots and scaled out here. Made $200 on this. Gave a little bit back here, but then made it back here. So, not a bad day. And it's not bad. Trading with smaller size, this is why I do it. And this is why I'm showing you guys. All you need to do is trade with small size. You develop the skill, and then you can start scaling up. Because I promise you, if you can't get a good entry and get a good exit trading 100 shares, you're not going to be able to do it trading 500 shares. That's why I say if you can't make $50 consistently every day, then how you going to make $500 consistent every day? Or $200 consistent every day, and you can't make $50. It doesn't. You have to start from the beginning. You have to take your time. And those guys that I work with that trusted the process, that didn't give up, they're doing pretty good now. And as long as they keep trusting the process and stay within themselves, they're going to continue to get better. And so this was another trade I took today. The last one was just one of my patented late afternoon trades where I'm not doing anything. I just get in something that usually bounces. My old buddy AAOI, just kind of mess with it. This looks like a lot of trades, but it's not, because all it was, they kept splitting the orders up, like 2 shares filled here, 144 here. This is all one order, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But who knows why they do what they do. But this was, I got in here. It pretty much held the moving averages. It did close below this, but I wasn't anywhere near my max loss. And I waited to see what was going to happen, and we recovered and ran right up the VWAP. And I took some profit here, and then here and here, when we couldn't really do anything. We were getting ready to close anyway. I didn't want to hold this overnight, so I just dumped it. And this, like I said, this wasn't much of, this was just what I do pretty much every evening, every afternoon. I would get in this looking for the push up, hop in the car, go pick my son up, and I'm sitting here watching it, while I'm driving or mobile. I just keep flashing to it. But just one of those moves. But that's not why I showed you this chart. The reason why I showed you this chart is I wanted you to see this again. Had I been watching this, you can see this was a opening range breakdown. I mean, clear. I would have waited until we got under this red to green line. And nice trade. But very choppy. That's why I wait till late to trade this stock now. Because this choppiness can, chop you right on out of the trade. But this gives you a clear indication. I like this because it gives me a clear indication. Once this trades outside of this area, I wait for it and get in. if it's trading inside this, I don't want it. It stops me from taking, bad trades. So that was it for me today. Pretty decent day. And like I said, I'm going to continue to trade smaller size through next week. And we'll bump it back up, by 100 or 200 shares after that. And hopefully I can keep my head screwed on straight. I won't start chasing money again. Because when you start chasing money, that's when, things go bad for you. Now, here's my contact information. If you want to check out our chat room, you can wait until Wednesday after next. Or if you want to see live, unscripted trading, come join us. Join us for a month and see if you like it. And you get to see me win, lose, or draw. Sometimes it may get a little hilarious at my expense, but it's all about modeling to you guys exactly what it looks like to be a full-time day trader. If you're going to do this full-time, you need to know how it really is. You don't need a dog and pony show. Now, if that's what you want, then yeah, this probably isn't the place for you. But if you want to see, real life, if you want a reality check, come check us out. Also, next week, the yearly subscribers, I do a webinar every Wednesday. And we have a lesson on one thing or another. We're going to start talking about swing trading coming up. And because I have a swing trading class coming out that I can teach my strategies, just like everything else, is real simple, straightforward. It's not a whole lot of moving parts to it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to be bringing that in. And we do have the small group mentor sessions that we have. I try to do 2 a month to try to work with traders who are having the same issue. And we have a little group mentor session. So you get all of those things. So if you're interested, just come check us out. AverageJoeTrader.com. And if I don't see you guys tomorrow in chat, I hope you have a safe and fun holiday weekend. And we will see you back at it on Tuesday.